So this is a Passengers United exclusive that I'm about to show you. Guys, you're not going to believe this. So Transportation Alternatives member Jim Burke and his people there, and I'm very upset because Jim Burke is also a proud member of Riders Alliance. And so now not only are they screwing up, they've screwed up 34th Open Streets. Now they're trying to destroy Flushing, Bayside, and all the other communities, Willets Point, with this. This is an exclusive. So this press conference was held today at 5:30 p.m. before Jessica Ramos could have a town hall. What I want to know is how is it that all of these people were able to get through the 2,000 or 3,000 people that showed up and were able to get in the building and get a front seat in the auditorium before everyone else. Something doesn't add up over here, guys. I don't know whether they came in through a secret entrance, which I think they did, but this is getting disgusting now and this needs to be curtailed. So let's listen to this press conference. And Stephen A. Cohen is speaking. I believe he owns the Mets, and this is the guy that's pushing the Metropolitan Park and supposedly $1 billion in community benefits. But his whole thing is if they get to build a casino. So they want to build this in front of City Field, and supposedly they want to put parks, athletic field, subway station improvements, and more. But my thing is, why do we have to have a private developer do this? Shouldn't the government be funding this? Why are we giving away public land to private developers, right? They should be building schools, community centers, YMCAs. Those are things people need, not a casino, guys. So let's listen to this BS.
Been a long time in the making. When Steve first bought the Mets, he said at his opening day press conference that this baseball team is about more than just the players on the field and winning championships. It's about the neighborhoods around us. It's about the community around us. And one of the first things we heard from the fans, from the members of the Queens community, from that first day press conference was, they call him Uncle Steve, right? Uncle Steve, what are we going to do about the area around City Field? This has been a long time in the making.
So I'm very concerned about this. There's Oscar, there's Jim Burke behind the lady in the blue dress, and there are some other people I know as well who are related to Nulla, Jim, and many of these people I used to hang out with many years ago, before COVID-19 could hit. I am so surprised and shocked at how they could change their demeanor. So, like I said, guys, money changes people, everything changes. And all the other nonprofits in those communities, you know, like I said, they got access, and, this is how it works, guys. It's a damn shame. Queens doesn't deserve this. And if you notice, and if you look carefully, you only see one Asian person there. But you don't see that many Asian people in the background. You maybe see one or two there. And I don't think that's right, guys. Where are the leaders from the Asian community in Flushing? They've not been invited. Where are all the actual people who live in the community? They're not there. So again, this is gentrification at its finest. And this is what I'm saying. Jim lives in Far Rockaway. So yeah, this is something's got to change with this nonsense, guys. It's not fair to the community. So today I was called a racist at a meeting because I said that a lot of Asians gamble at casinos. I'm making a point, and the research that you're about to see next is shocking, and it's something that you will be shocked when you take a look at it. I wanted all of you to know something. So this research was done by the Gateway Foundation, and this was an article done and research done called The Emerging Issue of Gambling Addiction in Asian American Communities. So it says here the exact number of Asian Americans impacted by gambling addiction is unknown, but it is a documented challenge. A study from the University of Massachusetts in Boston explored the gambling practices of people living and working in Boston's Chinatown. Some of the Asian Americans at the highest risk for gambling addiction include low income workers and immigrants, according to researchers. Asian immigrants who experience the trauma of war in their home countries and lived as refugees may turn to gambling to hope to help cope with the experiences. So, this report talked about how casinos are also known to market specifically to Chinese immigrants and other members of the Asian American community. The study conducted in Boston found that casino locations and transportation options made it easier for members of low income immigrant communities to access gambling opportunities. So, why don't we look at the study? So, let's look at the study from the University of Massachusetts, and this is called Talking About Casino Gambling Community Voices from Boston Chinatown. So, this report was prepared by Carolyn Wong, PhD, Institute for Asian American Studies, University of Massachusetts, Boston, and then Gills Lee. She also has a MPA. So, this is the Chief Executive Officer of the Boston Chinatown Neighborhood Center. So, guys, we're going to scroll down and I'm going to show you something that's going to shock you. So, even though this report was done in Boston, wait till you see this. This is going to shock you, and this actually shocked me. So, I'll just read this part. So, in Boston Chinatown, moreover, there are few programs and little space for residents to engage in recreational activities. This also sounds like Flushing, Queens, guys. So let's read this. So the only outdoor public space for sports is a small asphalt area next to Highway 93 where heavy vehicular traffic emits toxic air pollution. Although many of the nonprofit organizations in Chinatown cultivate strong communities among the service population, these circles are tight knit and often need specific. The under the underemployed elderly, at risk youth, and mothers of children with special needs constitute the major subgroups of the Chinatown population. There are opportunities for them to support each other, but the lack of a third space in Chinatown and the relative disinvestment from state and local government have led to a loss of cohesion among community members and, as a result, less social connectedness and resilience. Notably, several of our research participants reported that they did not engage in casino gambling until coming to the US and living in this context, which is not surprising because casino gambling is illegal in China outside Macau. So now this is the part that's going to shock you. Targeted advertising and casino patronage. The practice of targeted ethnic marketing to attract Chinese customers to casinos is well honored and widely practiced. Because of our study focused on Chinatown residents and workers who gambled at the Foxwoods and Mohegan Sun casinos in Connecticut, not Boston, but Connecticut, we note the following comments of the Senior Vice President of Marketing at Mohegan Sun, quoted in the Connecticut Courant in 2007. Guys, you're going to be shocked when you hear this. Asian American customers represent about 25% of the casino's table game revenue, and that clientele has grown by about 45% over the past 2 years, said Anthony Petrone, Senior Vice President of Marketing at Mohegan Sun. Although many casinos cater to an Asian clientele, Petrone said he believes none has gone this far, especially for the day trip customers who arrive on one of our 48 daily buses catering to the Asian customers. And it's quoted here, it is our most robust segment in terms of growth, Petrone said. It is easy to spend capital on a fast growing market. Peters, 2007, right? And then down below it says, in a similar vein, an article in Tourism Trade Journal reported that Foxwoods, the biggest casino in the world based on gambling flow space, estimates that at least one third of its 40,000 customers per day are Asian. Mohegan Sun says Asian spending makes up a fifth of its business and has increased 12% during the first half of this year alone. So this was from Simpson 2006. And then it says The targeted marketing towards Asians is evident from the online marketing web pages of Foxwoods and Mohegan Sun casinos. Both have specialized Asian web pages which advertise transportation options. On July 16, 2019, 18 Asian line runs were listed from the Boston metropolitan area and Lawrence to Mohegan Sun. So, guys, the webpage ads, as you can see below, are written in Chinese but not Spanish or any other minority language. Inside the casino, another marketing device targeted Chinese customers is clear on the electronic gaming machines. Among the techniques are display of brightly colored Chinese themed images and game themed images on the screen. So the reason why I was reading this report is because what is close to Met's Willets Point? Flushing. Flushing has a predominantly large Asian community, as well as Bayside, as well as College Point. So, Jessica Ramos and them today, they said that I made a racist statement by saying a lot of Asians gamble. Guys, that is a fact. I stand behind that comment. And again, this is the research. So I'm going to show you an exclusive interview that I got from John Park, who's the executive director of the Min Kwan Center for Community Action. This is an Asian nonprofit organization that operates in Flushing. He gave me an interview, and surprisingly, even though he had a meeting one-on-one with Jessica Ramos a while back, he was not invited to tonight's meeting. Isn't that odd? And when they came there, they weren't even invited to be part of the panelist, which I find kind of ironic. And obviously, Jim Burke and them were there. They were also at that press conference hosted. So again, guys, this just goes to show you that there has been research done about this issue. But wait till you hear this interview. This interview is going to shock you guys. And this interview next is from John Park, Executive Director of the Min Kwan Center.
Stay with the families so they can do whatever they need to do with it. So one, that's an important framework, that this is really an extraction of wealth from a community of color. Okay? Additional frameworks are APIs in New York City. Okay, we've been suffering from a lot of different things. Anti-Asian hate. We're dealing with things right now with our different Asian communities, and the opposite of love. Okay, I would say the opposite of love isn't hate. Okay, it's indifference. Okay, that's what we're dealing with in terms of anti-Asian hate from our representatives. Because anytime something needs to happen, whether it's redistricting or a casino or something else, hey, let's just take it from the Asians. Let's just put it in their backyard.
That's right.
Okay? And this is how New York City treats APIs who are 1 in 5 New Yorkers are Asian American, right? And when you look at what's happening throughout the city, and they just want to put it right in our backyard, and they don't care about the harm that's going to happen to our mental health, and they're basically pitting us against other groups and communities, saying like, well, they want this and they want that, but you don't get to steamroll. Okay, you don't get to say, oh, one community wants this, we're going to steamroll the mental health of another community. That is not leadership in New York City. That is not how we need to operate, and this needs to be shut down. Because this entire thing is orchestrated.
That's right.
At every little town hall, for example, I didn't even get an invitation. I had 2 meetings directly with State Senator Ramos on the casino issue. Just me, all right? And maybe one other colleague. Private meetings, right? And then we're the organization that's been working on this casino on the Flushing side, probably from the beginning. However, we didn't get a single invitation to this event, right? I had to ask them yesterday, can we even get an invitation? And what we're realizing is this, right? That the town halls are getting packed, and the invitations are going to certain groups, and certain groups are not getting invitations.
That's right.
So, that's exactly
and they also had an event at 5:30, a press conference. I don't know if you heard.
Oh yeah,
and they had food and refreshments. Yes.
So this is basically a marketing event for the developers, where they get to come into this room, give it their entire presentation, and they break out the media and have a special little catered meeting with the media, So this is basically just the developers event that Ramos has hosted for them, and we're trying to do our best to speak the truth. And because anyone who's not going to be enriched directly by the casino, they're just not around. And we need to get those voices here, because this is complete forcing.
There is another side of this. So Jackson Heights and Corona, as you know, has the prostitution and human trafficking situation, and also Flushing. Do you feel that the casino will make that situation even worse?
I think having a casino is just going to make everything worse. I think here's one example I can give. Right, there are a lot of people here probably with different faiths. Right, if we could just be like just locally. Mosques, temples, churches, right? All of these groups, if we just brought, none of these people are going to be enriched by the casino. If we just brought regular people here, they're all going to oppose it because we all know it's bad for our community.
That's right.
And here's another point. For the people who want a casino, they're fine. If they have the expendable income to like gamble and they want to do it, we have New Jersey, they can drive
Atlantic
there,
City, right?
Here's the issue. For the folks who don't have it, we're not going to steamroll people in need just for people who have the means to not even need to do it for their entertainment. So we need to have the right prioritization of how do we take care of New Yorkers the right way? And that's the basic question. And the casino isn't it.
So I'm the president of Passengers United. Actually, I'm on the news. I do all the transit advocacy. It's an honor to meet you. We do not support the casino because it would destroy the community. Absolutely. I've actually met your director of civic engagement. I've been working with her, and I spoke to her on the phone. Sandra's a great person. Yeah. Great. So you guys are doing a wonderful job, and this is going to destroy the community.
It is.
And I think it's disgusting. I don't think it's right that the elected officials brought all the union people here to suppress the voice of the community.
Exactly.
But it just goes to show you.
People who are directly going to be financially enriched. That is not an indicative or representative group of people that shows what the constituents and what Flushing and what Elmhurst and the other people who live in this area. That is not a representative. You have to take the families who are not going to get money from this casino to weigh in, and that's where you get an actual objective feedback from the community. This is just an orchestrated.
And New York State, when you gamble in New York State casinos, those are not slot machines. Those are called video lottery terminals, which makes people more addictive because you lose and lose and lose, like in Empire City Casino.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nice meeting you, sir. Thank you so much.
Very good meeting you.
Yeah. All right.
Pellman, I am the district leader in Assembly 27. I'm a member of Community Board 8. I live in the neighborhood. I work on Union Street in downtown Flushing, and I will tell you that the Mets have been calling all of the leaders and asking us for our input. And I go back to the community board, I go back to the neighborhood, and I ask them what they want. And we have been communicating that back to Sully and the Mets, and they have been very, very responsive. Also, talking about the undocumented asylum seekers, I have met with the governor. She has trying to get 5,000 of them employed. I told her that there are many other opportunities where we could use that. Healthcare has a lot of shortage, and so does construction. We need to get them jobs. We need to have them become members of a union. We need them to become citizens and taxpayers. Thank you very much, Senator.
It's on. You can just record me?
Yeah, no problem.
It's on.
Yep.
You have your minute.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Charlton D'Souza. I'm the president of Passengers United. We do all the transportation advocacy. We attend all the meetings. Yet, nobody reached out to us about anything going on with this project. That is disgraceful. And then you have all the prostitutes and the human trafficking going on Roosevelt. What I don't understand is, why do you want to build a casino that's going to create more human trafficking, more prostitution, more sex abuse, and that's going to exploit people, and you have wealth transfer. So a lot of Asian people tend to gamble a lot. It happens in the community. So that's an issue. Because that's wealth transfer. That's exploitation. So this whole thing is a farce, because we all know transportation alternatives, all the other club groups were here, and they spoke before we could speak, and we didn't have a voice. So I think this whole meeting, to me, is a sham. That's all I'm going to say. It's disgusting.
Which side wants to go?
So the interview that you're about to see, as you see the Asian lady who's about to speak, on the left side, on the black side, right there in the brown outfit, she works for Hard Rock Casino, guys, and she was from Las Vegas. So as soon as I made my comments tonight, Jessica Ramos and them, they were saying that I made a racist comment because I said a lot of Asians go to casinos. So let's hear what this lady from Hard Rock. I don't know what her title is, but I know she works for Hard Rock. Let's hear what she had to say.
Well, there's an Asian woman on each side. Let's hear from the Asian. Well, as I mentioned, I grew up in Las Vegas, but I don't even know how to gamble. So I'm not really sure what you mean by all Asians gamble or how much we gamble. So, I mean, that's a little offensive and it's very serious.
First of all, let's get one thing straight. I never said all Asians gamble. Okay? I did not say that. So, she needs to go back and listen to what I said. Okay? Because now she's taking my words out of proportion. I didn't say that. I said a lot of Asians gamble, not all.
Type, I think.
Did you speak to the nonprofits? Did you speak to the nonprofits in the area? There's a nonprofit that's doing work in Flushing.
Let her speak.
Right.
I mean, it's really offensive.
No, I think it's disgusting,
and as I
Ramos.
mentioned about my history, my family worked in casinos, so I find it very, very offensive that you would, treat the whole industry as being exploitative when it's not. Obviously, there are always bad actors, and you're never going to get away from that. But we're not talking about, partnering with some I don't know. I'm not sure what the low-life gambling institution would be. But we're talking about partnering with a Hard Rock. I mean, I don't even know how to even respond to that.
Yeah, because y'all don't want to address the real issues that are going on. So she didn't want to address. So you notice how she tries to deflect and she tries to criticize what I'm saying. And now I know why. Because, she knows what's really going down. So this whole plan from Hard Rock is to target the Asian community in Flushing. And have you noticed where have the elected officials been on the Flushing side? How come the elected officials are not talking about what's happening on the Flushing side? So I didn't appreciate the way that Jessica Ramos did this because obviously, and as you can see that guy there, that's Mr. Cohen. So I have issues. I did not like the way this went down. But let's see what happens next. Community. You're a disgrace, Jessica Ramos. You're a disgrace.
Sir, we're gonna have to have you removed.
No, she belittled me in front of everyone. It's a fact. It is a fact about wealth transfer. Okay? Yeah, go escort me out. Because that's all y'all are good at. Okay? You're corrupt, Jessica Ramos. All of you are corrupt. Give me a break. It's all bullshit. All corrupt. All corruption at its finest. Meanwhile, people are being exploited on Roosevelt Avenue. All of you are just out for a simple dollar. You don't care about what's going to happen to the community. Okay? Yeah, I want attention. There's a nonprofit that's doing the work in Flushing. Yeah. So when I was talking about the nonprofit in Flushing, I was referring to the Min Kwan Center. They have been ignored, obviously. And I felt bad because when we all came tonight, we all had to go to overflow rooms. What kind of nonsense is this? Meanwhile, have you noticed Jim Burke and them? How is it that Jim Burke and all of them were able to make it from Terrace on the Park at that press conference at 5:30, and mysteriously they made their way to the front of the auditorium at 6:30? I find that hard to believe. Okay, so there's some funny business going on here. And Jim Burke is a member of Transportation Alternatives. He's the Queen's person. And he's also a member of Riders Alliance. But now let's see what Jessica Ramos' staffers did to me. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, go ahead. Escort me out. Look, I'm being pushed right out.
Thank you so much.
No, that's disgraceful. And I'm going to call her out on the news because of that now.
Okay.
Seriously, I'm going to call her out on the news. That is disgraceful. It is a fact. It is a fact.
You were
It is a fact
You said
that
a very
Asians.
known stereotypical racist comment.
I made a racist comment. Really?
In a public town hall.
Really? There's a nonprofit. There's a nonprofit. Okay, so they're saying I made a racist comment. Really? I made a racist comment. Ah, man, I tell you, this is something else. I said a lot of Asians gamble. That is a wide fact. There is research to document that. And I feel pretty secure in the statement that I made because if John Park from the Min Kwan Center had raised this up, and he raised this issue to me before I even went inside this meeting, and he told me, and that it will, even though all this money is being proposed for the park and everything, what about people who have gambling addictions? What about those people? What happens to people who lose their finances, their homes, their investments because they had a gambling addiction? It's going to take years and years to help those people recover. There's no price that you can put on that. So yeah, and what was also brought to my attention was, so, the house always wins at a casino. We always know that, right? And Hard Rock Casino doesn't pay out, guys. That's just a fact. Even in Atlantic City, they don't pay out. Their machines are very tight. And I will say this. So he keeps the guy that was there from the Mets, and I believe he's part of all this with the casino. His name is Cohen. He kept saying that they're going to be putting money, they're investing money in a park, they're investing money in this. But guess what, guys? No, they're not. It's called wealth transfer. So every time when people go to the casino to play, they're using the revenue from that to pay the community. They're not paying the money out of their own goodwill. Whatever money is, they're going to make that money up. So whatever money they're giving to the park, whatever money they're giving to the community, they're going to make that money 100 times over, guys. So these are the facts to consider. So I believe that I was right in this. And there were other community members who brought up, similar issues to what I brought up. But again, guys, let's watch the rest of this. So I'm being thrown out for making a fact.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Fantastic.
Okay. Nice to meet you, sir.
So I didn't meet you yet, but I just want to leave the lady alone, that's all.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Which office are you from?
I'm just a regular citizen here, just want to make sure that she doesn't get in any...
I would never do that to her. But it's a fact. But this is what you're doing.
Conversations about this, sir. You come to a lot of our...
So what I want to know is who's this guy, okay? Who's this white guy? And why does he feel the need that he thinks I'm going to attack her or something? What is going on at this meeting? There's some funny business going on at this meeting. And I noticed when Jessica Ramos was asking the questions, it seemed like every question all the panelists had an answer for. Something doesn't add up here, guys. And I'm going to just make it out well known. Something doesn't add up here. Why didn't they have the Min Kwan Center at this table? Why wasn't, they represented there? They should have been represented at this table, right? To hear the real comments. And so, guys, Flushing is being left out. Decisions are being made about Willets Point. And this is going to affect Bayside because there's a lot of Asian people there. There's Asian people. But you know what, guys? Everybody gambles, right? But, and look at Aqueduct. Aqueduct has been, Resorts World Casino has been an Aqueduct. Guys, that area has not improved. Nothing's improved in that area in terms of socio-economic status. Look at Atlantic City. What do you see in Atlantic City? People hooked on drugs, people destitute, people prostituting themselves. So Jessica Ramos is going to be long gone by the time these casinos open. And guess what? The community is going to be left with the problems. And shame on our staffers. Look at this. So what did I do? I raised a fact. It's true about the Asian community. You guys have not reached out to the Asian community. No, you have not reached out to the Asian community. I'm racist. I'm racist for raising a fact that a lot of Asians, it's true. You know how I know that? My mother's Asian.
Sir,
okay? That's a fact.
Sir, please.
It's all good.
So this is what Jessica Ramos likes to do. These are the games that her staff and her likes to play. And I think it's pretty disgraceful, guys. Jessica Ramos' staff doesn't know the interview that I got with John Park. So again, I think they're gonna be pretty shocked when they see this video. And I think that they're gonna be shocked. The truth is coming out. And what angered me about Jessica Ramos in this meeting was that they invited the unions to come out. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand union people want to work, and their whole thing is they're looking for work. But what the unions don't understand is they're only going to be working there for maybe a year or two when the casino is being built and the land's being built. Once all this stuff is over, what do you think is going to happen to the community, right? When the casino opens? Many of the construction workers building the casino, right, and building all the stuff, they're going to lose money at the casino. So this whole thing, guys, doesn't add up. It's just a mess. And I really didn't want to, I really wanted to go there and make a point. But after seeing the things that I saw, I got really disgusted. And the whole thing was just a mess. So again, this is Passengers United. Oh boy, what a mess. All right, guys. So, yep, let's see the rest of this.
Please.
I'm out of the venue. I'm not even in the auditorium. So this is disgusting. This whole thing is a farce, guys. All these groups from Transalt, Riders Alliance, they're all young. They're calling me a racist. No, Jessica Ramos, you're the one who screwed up. And her staff threw me out. Good. Because you know what? We're going to protest on the news. You're a disgrace. And it needs to be said, guys. People need to start uprising. There needs to be an uprising in Elmhurst, Corona, Jackson Heights. People need to start protesting outside these elected officials' offices. Because what's going on is disgusting, okay? And there's a human trafficking situation going on Roosevelt Avenue.